Today, we're talking about the Gazelle Eclipse. Now, at face value, this is the most expensive bike in the Gazelle line. But indeed, it does have the biggest battery, the most powerful motor, and a host of other features that make this thing pretty much a luxury good. $5,000 for a bike is not cheap, we know that. But for a bike with this many features, it's got pretty much every bell or whistle you could have on an e-bike. It is the perfect bike for commuting, for getting around town, and for just making riding on a bike more enjoyable. I think we probably need to frame up who this bike is for, and we are lucky because the wonderful folks at Gazelle have outlined the ideal customer of the Gazelle Eclipse.
Boundless adventure. New smells. New colors, new places, new roads. You're ready for new adventure.
Honestly, I have no idea what that means. But if I were to pick who this customer is, I'd probably say it is your super commuter, somebody that's got a mid to long range commute. It's somebody who's an errand runner, you want to go to the grocery store, or somebody that's just generally car avoidant. All right, so by my research, this is the biggest battery available in this style of e-bike. Certainly, yes, cargo bikes will have bigger batteries, but at 750 watt hours and with a range of up to 135 kilometers, I don't know what that is in American. 80 miles, okay. It also has the Bosch Performance Speed motor, which is a Class 3 motor with 85 Newton meters of torque. That's good for up to 28 miles an hour. Another great thing is that it comes with a Bosch display. This display is full color LED and it can do a ton of different things. It's got a thumb controller so you don't ever have to take your hands off the bar. It can tell you everything from your basic ride metrics where you can shift through your mileage and speed, etc. It can also tell you how much range you have in any given mode, from economy all the way up to the fast 28-mile-an-hour mode. And it also has turn-by-turn navigation in full color, so you don't have to pull your phone out and try to look at it while you're navigating. Drivetrain is up next, and there are both belt drive and derailleur-based options. For anyone that's never used a belt drive, they are a pretty great system. They're almost maintenance-free. The belts last for pretty much ever. You don't have to oil them or do anything like that. And the nice thing about a belt drive system is that it doesn't run through a derailleur. So if you tip your bike over, or you're maybe taking it on and off the train, and you've got that ability to bump the back end of the bike, your shifting will always be perfect. That belt drive system also works with the Inviolo hub, which is a stepless transmission, meaning that there are not individual gears, and all of those shifting mechanisms are buried within the hub, so they're not exposed to the elements. For those of us that really don't know which gear they should always be in, they've also got a really clever little piece of ID on the handlebar. As you rotate through the gear, the little hill on the controller increases and decreases. Makes it very easy to know where you're riding. There are, like we said, derailleur options as well. You can get a Shimano XT rear derailleur on this thing if you just want a traditional chain and derailleur style of bike. And the nice thing about that is it'll cost you about $500 less for that whole system. All of that design does, however, admittedly come at a cost. At 60 pounds, it isn't light, so I would not recommend this bike if you were having to go up a 4th floor walk-up. Let's talk a little bit about security. The Eclipse has a GPS sensor embedded in the bike, so you can actually track the bike's location, so even if it does get stolen, you've got a good chance of being able to get it back. One of my other favorite features that Gazelle offers is the use of a cafe lock. Cafe lock is very simply put just a small lock that is attached to the rear wheel. It allows you to easily slip a lock through the rear wheel so the bike can't roll, but doesn't lock to anything. If you want a little bit of added protection, that same cafe lock system can use the same key and attach to a larger cable so that you can lock it up to something on the street. If you're gonna have a bike that weighs 60 pounds, you also better be able to stop it. And so all of these bikes come with 4-piston brakes, really big brake calipers and very large disc brakes, which make it easy to get this thing woed back down from 28 miles an hour. This bike has integrated front lights, again with enough of a headlight that you can ride it in the dark, and a very bright LED taillight that is integrated into the rear rack. Talking a little bit more about that rear rack, the rack is also compatible with MIK or MIK rack accessories, which allows you to easily connect all sorts of bags and attachments to the back rack, so it's very easy to take them on and off whether you're going into a store or into your work. Let's just briefly also talk about the suspension at the front of the bike. You've got 75 millimeters of suspension travel on the front, which is great if you hit speed bumps or big square edge potholes. And another thing that helps smooth out the ride are the enormous tires. Now, these aren't big balloon sand going tires, but at 60 millimeters wide, they are a very, very wide tire that allows you to run a low pressure so that it's incredibly comfortable on the road. The last thing we've got is full fenders, front and rear. Those fenders are very robust and they fit completely over the tire. So even if you're commuting in the rain, it's gonna keep that strip off of your back and make sure you're nice and dry. And that is the Gazelle Eclipse. Hope you guys come into the store and check them out. If you've got any other questions, you can leave them down below or reach out to the online support team. They're ready to take your questions now. See you on the next one. Nobody knows what 135 kilometers is. Is that how far the moon is? I'll tell you what, you should just measure this in NASCAR tracks. How many times around Daytona Speedway? 6. This is me pedaling a bicycle. Are you still recording? Yeah. God damn it.